So I actually started selling in August. So in August, I've turned over 2 grand. September, it was 3,000. And so far this month's been about, hang on a second, I'll tell you, 700.
Hey guys, so today we are doing a client spotlight interview with a Mr. Stephen Broadhead. I'll have Stephen introduce himself in a moment. So really excited about interviewing Stephen because he's been sharing his success recently. I recently joined our Blueprint program and absolutely killing it. So yeah, great to have him on and share a bit of his story, and yeah, hopefully it inspires other people. So, without further ado, cross to yourself, Stephen. Who is Stephen Broadhead? Where are you from? What's your story? What's the crack?
So I'm from Bradford, which is West Yorkshire.
Yep.
Basically, I'm in a sales background in my career that I'm doing now, and basically, I was just looking for other ways to sort of be more financially stable. Went through a divorce a while ago and stuff like that, and that sort of took a lot of that wealth away that I had. And I just want to provide a better life for my daughter. That's why I do everything I do anyway. So I saw a post from Liam, and I've known Liam for quite some time. So, I mean, you always see these courses on, say, Facebook or YouTube or whatever saying, we'll make you X amount of money, come on our course. But you always sort of think, is it one of them that they're just going to take your money? You're never going to get anything. But obviously, I've known Liam some time. So when he posted about the iGen blueprint, I got in touch with him and had a chat with him. Basically, just everything went from there. Just thought, if you don't take any risks in life, you never get anywhere. So
Yeah.
I did. And then since then, I've been just plodding on. I started with I think it was about 300 quid. So basically now I've had to sort of recycle that constantly, taking it out of Amazon, into Amazon, out of Amazon, into Amazon. But now I've turned over, I think it's about 5.5 grand now in 2.5 months.
It's awesome.
So
really, really well done.
I'm at a point now where I'm just sort of getting the money in place to go heavy on Q4, or well, as heavy as I can, just to sort of see what the hype's about that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think it's the kind of the month of sort of November 20th to December 20th, 21st. It's just goes crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Black Friday, Cyber Monday up until kind of the weekend before Christmas is just bonkers. I think Christmas this year is on a Saturday, so
yeah, I believe it is
slightly longer because last year was like super short.
Yeah,
but I think it's gonna be quite a kind of long period of that.
Also, as well, I need to sort of start investing now in Q4 because of everything that's going on. I mean, obviously, people are going to go out of stock in shops a lot quicker than they did last year. The HGV crisis thing is still having a big effect on stuff because you're talking weeks or months before things even get into Amazon. So you just got to make sure that, sort of got to invest now and start sort of investing now to make sure everything's actually in and listed and on and running. And if there's any issues with sort of, your clearances from Amazon and stuff like that, making sure you've got all your, minimum of 10 items and, you're actually ungated on stuff. And it's not easy, but once you've done it a couple of times, the ungating process, it's easy to do. It's just making sure that your invoice has your name and address on it. Make sure that it actually has 10 items of that item at least. Before where I've sort of ordered and then gone, we're only 9. And then I've sort of had to cancel order and reorder it and do it like that.
Sugar. Nightmare. Cool. We'll talk a little bit about your journey and things. So you'd mentioned that obviously you've been through that experience with your ex. It's interesting. A lot of people, self-included, kind of start things like this to, there's the phrase, like a breakdown leads to a breakthrough.
I mean, that were a few years ago, but obviously you don't recover from that for a long time.
Yeah.
Sort of floating around.
Yeah, and it's great that you've got that kind of inspiration with your
Mm.
daughter as well. It's awesome to provide for her. So yeah, fair play. I think a lot of people who'll watch this are kind of in similar positions where they'll be working kind of stable jobs, but kind of just want more.
Yeah.
You know, they'll another stream of income or
Well, it's one of them. I do have quite a well paid job, but it's one of them where you live to your means, don't you? So then you
yeah,
start sort of living paycheck to paycheck, whether you're earning next to nothing or you're earning, a certain amount, because you've got stuff to pay, then you get a better house, or you do this, or you do that, and you end up
yeah,
just still living paycheck to paycheck, regardless of how much you're earning.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah, that's such a common kind of experience. I couldn't have said it better. It's like that kind of rat race type
Yeah, well, this
right
is
there.
it. This is it. And I've sort of always just sort of took the chances here and there. I mean, I started working as like a cleaner, and then I became an engineering labourer. Then I was in charge of the department after 5 years because I learned all that. And then I've sort of took that risk and then left that company as a risk, and then took another risk, and then changed to sales. And that's where you sort of get up in your career. If you sort of stagnate, then you can't go anywhere.
Yeah. So would you say that you're a bit of a risk taker then,
Yeah,
Stephen? Yeah, you
yeah.
take kind of a calculated risk and weigh things
Yeah,
up, and
yeah. I
that's
mean,
kind of your,
obviously, if you calculate and it feels like you're going to fail, then you don't go for it. But if you're confident enough in yourself to say you are going to do it, then you'll do everything you can to do that.
cool. So yeah, like whenever I started Amazon, it's funny you've mentioned cleaning because I started a cleaning business and
Mm,
then me and my business partner went separate ways. And I was kind of like, right, what am I going to do in the spare time now? So I started looking online and kind of found everything like Forex, trading, all that type of stuff.
yeah.
So what made you kind of decide that you wanted to do Amazon? What actually appealed to you in regards
Well,
to like Amazon FBA?
well, I actually didn't know anything about Amazon FB at all until I spoke to Liam.
Okay.
He explained obviously the blueprint course and everything else. He says it goes through everything in total detail. There's a support all over it in case you get stuck at anything. I can't tell you how good the course is, if you know what I mean, because it's step by step. It's follow it through as it's stated. Don't sort of skip 5 ahead or 10 ahead, thinking, oh, I'm bored of this. I'm going to do 10 steps ahead. Because I mean, I'm guilty of it myself. I skipped forward a couple of steps, but then I struggled to get sorted on something. And then I went back to the course, carried it on, and it taught me through what I'd been stuck on. So I would
Yeah.
have never been stuck if I had just stuck to that course.
Yeah.
So it taught me everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, and I'm still no next to, there's millions of things to learn about it. And I'm learning something new every day. But the more mistakes you make on it at the beginning, the better you can be later on, can't you? So it's one of them where you're risking sort of £100 on an item at the beginning, but you could be risking £1,000 in 6 months on the same sort of thing, but you know more about it, so
Yeah.
you can take that risk then.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the way that Luke Naiman put the program together, it's called the blueprint because that's what it is.
It
It's
literally is, yeah. You just have to follow it, word for word. I mean, there's videos showing you how to do it. There's links on the actual videos that explain stuff, and the information
mhm.
you provide and what you get for actually what you're paying. It's quite advanced.
Yeah, it's very cost. I mean, we've done a lot of work on comparisons and seeing what else is out there, and yeah, it's in terms of the content, there's
Mm.
nothing that we found elsewhere that no, we're not providing in terms of the price. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
well worth the money.
it's the support as well from everybody on it. You can put a
Yeah,
question on the group within sort of 5 minutes. You've got an answer from somebody,
yeah.
or somebody's feel free to give you a call and you have a chat with them, and then you know what you're doing. And
Yeah, like the way that we're trying to position it is there's like kind of three types of courses. The majority of courses are DIY, so you'll
yeah,
buy a course, it's videos, you have to do it yourself. Whereas what we're trying to do is a done with you service, so we can't do everything for you, but
yeah,
we do it with you. So
yeah. So,
this
you're
helps.
pretty much sort of doing it with their influence as well.
Yeah, cool. Did you look at anywhere else in
To be
terms of
honest with you,
comparison?
no. I always sort of looked at crypto and stuff like that, but I never really understood it properly, so I didn't bother investing in it. And
Yeah,
I've seen sort of all these courses, all over internet, and will make you, earn £1 million a year on just pay this amount for this course and stuff. And I don't know what had gone for it if I didn't know Liam.
Yeah.
Because it's that, are you really going to get what they're saying, or is it just blowing smoke up your butt? You know what I mean? It's one of them. Because I know Liam, it made it easier. You know.
Yeah. No, I get that. Cool. And if you want to talk a little bit about when did you sign up, Stephen? When
I
did you
think it
actually?
was. I think I actually signed up in June, at the end of June, maybe beginning of July.
Aye. So July,
Of
August,
course.
September, and we're on the 13th of October.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you
Well,
want to talk a little?
I actually started trading on Amazon. I was all set up and going by the beginning of August, and things were selling.
Wow, right. Okay,
So I got started quite rapidly, really.
cool. So August, September, and kind of half of
Mm,
October so far. So
I think things have slowed down a little bit at the moment because I aren't putting as much into stuff that I'd normally sell. You know, I'm trying to look at more things for Christmas and New Year and presents, and stuff that actually will sell more at Christmas. I mean, I'm restocking items that sell every month, but I'm not sort of. I try every week to sort of find a product I aren't selling
yeah,
and then see how that goes. Only a limited amount of them.
yeah.
But
Okay.
I'm not doing that. I'm selling things that I know will sell, plus investing in things that I think will sell at Christmas, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you could check Keepa and see what it looked like last Christmas and
Yeah.
Christmas before, if that's available, then yeah, you kind of can't
Well,
go wrong.
even sort of, you get your reprice and your sourcing software and everything else. I'd say personally, straight away, go for all of it. Go for your fulfillment center, which I did straight away. I've never prepped anything myself because I just don't have time to do that. So I just thought, right,
Right.
straight away off the mark, get your fulfillment center, get your repricing software, your sourcing software, a keeper. I just went for everything really. And the sort of profits I've been getting from Amazon, I've been paying for the subscriptions. So really, I'm still making quite a bit of profit, but I'm not spending much of my own money, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think when we were talking just before we started recording,
Mm,
your kind of background as like a sales engineer
yes.
would probably have led you to do that, to kind of go, right, okay, I can see the benefit of this. And
But yeah, I
yeah,
mean, it's one of them where if you want to scale and then sort of now, I mean, even my fulfillment center aren't accepting any new people until January now. So if you wanted to sort of step up your game at Christmas, it means you're personally going to have to sit there labeling thousands and things and getting them all prepped, getting them to Amazon, doing all that yourself. Where you're really stuck in the last quarter, then you have to wait until the next quarter because you won't be able to get in until January, February, March.
yeah,
So once then you think, oh God, that were hard at Christmas. I could have made so much more money if I'd have had time.
yeah,
And for me, not having to touch anything is the way I want to be. I want it as automated as it can be.
that's awesome. So you're fully automated from day one, and it's just a case of kind of building those systems and then scaling
Yeah,
it. You've got
and
got it
figuring it
all
all
set
out, how it
up.
all sort of gels together, and making sure that you're getting stuff that won't be in Amazon for at least 3 weeks. 2-3 weeks at least.
Yeah, cool. In terms of like, has there been anything you kind of haven't expected in terms of Amazon or the support or just your
But
journey? It's
that's something that I will make money out of.
cool. So that's how you deal with that then. Do you want to talk? You've mentioned your kind of sales figures just at the start there. Can you talk about that in a little bit more detail? If
Well,
you're
so we're all set up and everything in sort of end of July. So I actually started selling in August. So in August, I've turned over 2 grand. September, it was it was 3,000. And so far this month's been about 700. But obviously, again, from holding off a bit, and a lot of things that I sell every single month have gone out of stock. So now they're coming back in. I've just gone and bought all of them, or as many as I can, because really the first couple of months I was trialing that product, so
yeah,
it sells. I'm now buying a hell of a lot more of that item to make sure I'm not out of stock by the next time it comes into stock at their place.
yeah. I mean to do what was that? What, the 5 grand? Just
Mm.
over, maybe just under six if you've done 700 so far.
Yeah, it's about 5-7, yeah.
5-7. Yeah, that's awesome for like your first two or
And
three months.
that's just been recycling it as well. It's been taking it out, put it back in, taking it out, put it back in, taking it out. So it's been a a fun time to get it to get it up.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, can't even think what I did in my first couple of months, but it certainly wasn't,
Yeah.
5 grand.
I have put some of my own money back in it. So when I get obviously on payday, I put a couple of hundred in, but the majority is recycled from sales on Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, you can recycle it so quickly, and just the kind of
Mm.
compound effect of that is just, yeah, it's very powerful.
I mean, I've got items that I'm not going to say too much about them, but I've got items that are sort of selling at 110% ROI, or some that are selling at 80% ROI. Oh, but then I've also got stuff that's selling at 27, 25. So it's investing more in the higher value, but getting more of the smaller products sold, if that makes sense. So I'm sort of, if I make 10 sales of the more, the better products every sort of day or week, it's better than selling 30 of the small products with next to no ROI. So it's one of
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah. Once you're clearly kind of building up like what I would
the,
call a portfolio. So you've got your replenishable products, you've got like seasonal products that you know peak around certain times of the year. We've just had, well, could you call that a summer? You've
yeah, we've
kind of
got
got,
a few warm days. Yeah,
yeah, you've got summer items, you've got like back to school items. There's some items around Halloween do quite well, so you'll have kind of
yeah.
peaks for those types of things, and then you've got kind of replenishable products that you can kind of learn about as well. Cool. So obviously we're into Q4. What's the plan for next few months?
Well, basically try to invest as much as I can to get as much stock in before Christmas.
Yeah,
In multiple different categories. I mean, some people say sort of toys and games, but then other people say beauty, and other people say, it depends where you look and what product it is. So
yeah.
ideally, again, like I say, the sourcing software and the repricer and keeper is probably the best tool so far.
Well, I mean, with like Q4 coming up, let's talk about that a little bit. It's kind of like a
Mm,
perfect storm because you've got obviously Christmas is massive for gifts and toys and things, but you've
mm.
also got the nights closing in and the bad weather. So people don't want to really go out
People are
shop.
staying
Yeah,
in more, so you've
people
got to
staying
sort
in
of
more.
look at other parts of it as well.
Yeah, and like even just things like, I mean, well, not saying too much. Well, um, we did really well with heaters.
Mm,
Start of January, December, electric blankets. So
yeah.
we're putting in orders for that at the moment because, yeah, it's change of
But
season. It's just like, well,
yeah.
you work in sales, so sales is like problem solving. So it's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly.
there's more problems in winter. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
a lot of
there's,
people go sort of electric heaters because they don't want to use all the gas. There's too
yeah,
much on in whatever room they're in. You know.
yeah, yeah. Cool. So you're just trying to make as much as you can in Q4, and depend on how much capital you can get your
Yeah, this is it. I
hobby little
mean,
bits on.
yeah, I'm. It should be quite a decent amount, but
Cool.
I'm just waiting for it to become available. Shall I say?
Yeah, I mean, just that for anyone kind of watching this, we'll obviously share this on Facebook and YouTube
Mm.
and things. What would you say to someone who is kind of on the fence, getting splinters and kind of thinking, well, is this
Well,
for me? Or, you know,
firstly, I'd say just go for it. I'd say speak to yourself or Liam or whoever else they need to speak to, but don't be afraid of taking a chance because you can always sit there second guessing yourself, but you'll in 3 months' time if you could have been turning over 5,000 to 6,000 quid.
yeah,
And the cost to me is worth its weight in gold. It literally talks you through absolutely everything. I can't express how good it is if that makes sense. It's for something that you're basically doing in your spare time as well, and it's not you're not having to go to college or you're not having to sit on the phone all the time and you're not having to do this. It's all just there in front of you. It's
yeah,
just it's a no-brainer for me.
cool. Yeah, I mean, that's how we put it together. It's everything in one place in the right order. And yeah, you can really just maximize the time you put in and the effort that you need to
Yeah,
put in
well,
and just,
I've got a friend that's in America that signed up for it with Liam. And basically, he's sort of is an anesthesiologist in America. So you know, he earns good money, but he wants a different income stream, and he's busy all the time. but he still
Yeah,
finds time to do a couple of hours a day, or
yeah,
you know, start looking at products and stuff just to give him an idea of what is out there and what he can do. So it's
yeah.
not
I mean, yeah,
it's not you have to be stuck in front of your computer every single day. You know, do it as and
yeah,
when you can.
yeah. I mean, it's one of these things. Like the way that you're doing it is 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 arguably the best way because you've got Amazon FBA, so that process of getting a product to a customer in terms of the marketing, storage, the
Yeah,
fulfillment, returns, it's all automated.
yeah,
So really the only what Amazon FBA allows you to do much more than Shopify, eBay or drop shipping or anything like that is it allows you just to focus on finding products and making sales.
yeah,
So yep, I can see you like obviously you had an awesome start. I mean, at the stage kind of we're at the moment, team of six, I really spend, I think I did a post, it was about 11 hours a week spend on the Amazon business
yeah.
because I'm trying to grow it. I could spend less, but I genuinely really enjoyed the working with the
I mean,
team. So
I probably spend about an hour or two a day sourcing, but
yeah,
that'll be a thing at pass once I get a VA.
cool.
That's obviously what I'm going to be looking at early next year. Get
Yeah.
virtual assistants and then even be more hands off than I am now.
Yeah, it really just takes off there. I mean, for what's that, 10 hours a week, having kind of 3 grand months,
It's not too bad, is it?
it's not too bad. Not too bad a return your time. So, no, is there anything else you kind of want to talk about or just mention before we end this interview?
Not particularly, no. Just anyone that's on the fence, just read up on iGen, look at the blueprint, speak to you guys, and just get on it.
Oops. Yeah.
It's better
Cool.
chance than not.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, Stephen, thanks
Yeah, no worries.
for having the interview, and yeah, kind of excited to see how Q4 goes and plans for next year and all
Fingers
that stuff.
crossed. Yeah, it'll either be a good one or a bad one. We'll see.
Be a good one, mate. You'll fly to the moon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Take
Take
care.
care. Bye bye.